on this one. I'm going to do a little screen recording today. There's no sense of seeing my ugly ass face in it. Ever since I got this Helix, I've been really dedicated to watching a lot of Helix-based videos. Some of those guys I've already been watching. Jonathan Cordy does, of course, everything is around digital media, and specifically the Line 6 Helix. So anything you watch from that man is just impressive. I mean, his playing alone, and he's got some shitty-ass humor, which I love. It's funny. Red Shaw does some stuff, you know, some of his a little bit older videos cover stuff in Helix, and he makes some really good tones. Then you got Jason Sadides. Hope I said his name right. You know, his channel revolves around the Line 6 Helix and, you know, informative videos based around everything. And a lot of the stuff I've watched from those guys, I take little bits of things here and there. But what they've been covering a lot lately is, specifically Jonathan Cordy especially, been covering stuff with the Vox AC15 and AC30s and how dynamic it is. And I've never once even plugged into a Vox amp in my entire life. So this is the next best thing I have. So I was like, well, that's good timing. Now what I have here is a setup, this true stereo setup. And I'll get a little more involved in what it is, but we do have two Vox AC15s, or of course they call them Essex A15s, and then their own individual paths with delay and reverb and such, and their own cabs and all that kind of stuff. But we'll get into that. So, yeah, if you've never checked out Jonathan Cordy's stuff, please do. That man's amazing, and he's got some shitty humor that's just, I think it's funny. Red Shaw, I always feel like he's trying to sell me something, but I mean, he's got some good videos. Then Jason Sadides, he's really good to watch, and I sort of feel like I'm getting lectured by my 9th grade English teacher when I watch him, though, but like I did something stupid in class, but really good videos. So let's just do a little clean tone. Got a 92 Strat, American Standard Strat with KLEIN JAZZY cats in it. Being start off in number 4 position, and you can see how light I pick. That sucker stays clean. And all you gotta do is just dig in a little bit. Right, nothing new to anybody who's ever plugged into an AC15 or AC30. New to me though, but it's pretty cool. So let's just do a little jam here for a second. One thing I really like about this kind of breakup, like on the neck position, on that Strat, it's tubby but it's clear. See, when I do a little breakdown of this, it sounds like it's a lot of delay and reverb, which, I mean, it sort of is. But once you have the drums and stuff playing, you know, this is my own hobby. It's not as big of a deal. So let's go ahead and let me go ahead and start cutting all this stuff off. We're going to go dry first here. And I'm new to doing screen recording. Not that that's complicated, but I guess explaining it while I'm doing it. What we have is Essex 15 on, I think this is technically the right side. And we have that drive set about 50%. EQ is going to be really close for both of these. And I'm not going to get too in-depth because you're going to tailor them to how you like them, but not that you're going to emulate this. But then I got the left side, which drives up a little bit more. So let's go ahead and mute. Tell you what, let's go ahead and mute that signal path here. This is going to be that bottom amp, a little bit more gainier version, which I think is just the right side, yeah. Let's go ahead and mute this other one. This one's a little cleaner amp. It's this one on top here. I intentionally did an offset of those, one gainier and one a little more ass to it, or a little cleaner. keep both of those amps on. I have a hard time playing dry. It like really sucks the life out of me. So let's go ahead and go down to, we'll turn on this bottom delay here, this bottom path. And that is going to be the transistor tape, which I think is like an echoplex. So we'll go ahead and turn that on. I'm going to use my foot switch down there to turn that on. I'll just let you do a little chuck so you can hear it. Doesn't get in the way. Let's go ahead and turn on our Cosmos delay, which is this top path, which I think is the Roland Space Echo. Do a little chuck. Neither of those really get in the way. Let's go ahead and put both of those on. I like dancing delays. I sold my Volante, and that was like the hardest pedal for me to sell. I just literally walked into my garage a couple weeks ago. I'm like, dude, why do you have so much money tied up in this pedal board and 2 amps and everything? I just sold my Victory V40 today. It just sold about 20 minutes ago. My V30 sold yesterday, so just got to sell the cabs too on Reverb. But anyways, so that's sort of like my Volante kind of thing. I love that kind of delay. So let's cut those back off for a second. Let's go to our plate reverb, which is this bottom path right here. This has it's short, but very pronounced. Bring that up there. Decay is about 3.8. Low and high cut pretty low. Mix pretty low. Alright. And let's cut that off for a second and go to our dynamic hall, which is our top one there. I've never been a huge fan of hall reverb. I just never jive with it, but I like this one dynamic because, it takes that little millisecond whatever before it starts bringing up, but it just creates like a little underlying layer. So let's go ahead and double both of those up, both reverbs. Oh, geez. There we go, both on now. Let's get our delays back on. This adds a lot of character to that tone. But still not really in the way. Okay. A couple of little tricks I've learned from watching videos using the EP booster between the amp and the cab. A lot of the ones that I watched, now both of these are set the same, are with the boost on and the bright off. This is all personal preference. It's just starting points when you watch guys' videos. There's no right or wrong. I don't like it with the boost on, which I've owned the actual EP boost, and I think it was a 3 dB boost once it was on at all times if you had the boost on. But I prefer it with the bright switch on, the boost off, and put the drive to about 1.5. So it's a little less. Doesn't add as much body, just adds a little bit. So let's turn both of those on. On my little foot switch down there it says thicker, because that's basically what it is. Let's turn it off. Back on. Alright, so we're going to keep that on. And I have the KWB drive, which I was just watching Jonathan's video the other day, and he was talking about that, and I just started messing with it, and I really do like it. It's set to silicone for the push and pull diodes. Let's go ahead and turn that sucker on. It's set very low. Let's turn that back off. Just a little bit extra, a little tight, tightens things up. Back on. Alright, I guess we might as well just go ahead and cover these other things too. I watch a lot of the videos where, especially Jason Sadides always talks about putting an LA studio comp at the end. And like his settings, like it's that's for him. Like this is, you know, I use those guys' stuff as a starting point because I don't ever copy anybody's shit. You know, it's just that's their thing. You know, you're gonna tweak it to your own liking, and that's what you should be doing. But I do use it at the end on some of my patches that I've started to play around with and mix. But I do have the mix set down to like 40%, and the gain reduction is like 5.1. So I mean, it's ever so slight bump in volume here. Let's see. Let's turn all those delays and reverbs off so we can see it or hear it. There's without it. And really, like he always states, that's just the glue that puts everything together. And that's a good statement for it because it adds a little bit more of a realistic feel to it, even though it's at the end of it, end of the signal chain. But it puts a little bit more weight. Just like the EP booster does, puts a little more weight under the notes, under the strings, that natural compression you get from playing a tube amp, and I've been playing tube amps for years, and I don't miss them. I've had this Helix for 3 weeks, and this POWERCAB over here, I truly do not miss the amount of money that I invested in those tube amps. So, not one bit. I miss my Volante, I miss the Automaton a little bit, but that's it. Okay, and one other thing I guess I can cover in this video. This is just something I'm doing myself. Like, I like to watch my videos back, but I'm a beginner to Helix stuff, and you know, this is sort of oriented to somebody who's just getting their feet wet with it, and you're like, you get fed up with the spending all the money on all the expensive gear, which brings happiness. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike tube amps or anything or expensive pedals. They are what they are. But let me see, this top path, I got the mic. These are both 121 ribbons. About 4 inches, and I think the early reflections was 20% on that one. And I actually got the high cut down to 5.4, which is pretty low. I usually keep them around 8, but I found it just took a little of that high-end sizzle off that I didn't want. And I think this one was very close to. This 5.2 hertz for the high cut. Mic was at 4, and yeah, about 20% for early reflections. So very similar, 121 ribbon. But very fun to play with. I really like these like Vox kind of amps. Like I said, I've never played them. So this sounds like a lot of delay and reverb. But once we turn some of this on, most important thing of the day is have fun playing guitar. Selling my tube amps and that expensive pedal board has taken some kind of inherent stress of always trying to be better, always looking for the next piece of fucking gear. This Helix just crushed the gas. Well, I take that back. Boss just came out with that SY200. I might have to get that sucker. That's pretty damn cool. Anyhow, yeah, random video of the day. I'm really digging some Vox amplifier kind of stuff. So, but shit, I'm just gonna keep on top. Peace. Y'all have a great day.